There we go. I'm 1 for 1 this week. Started my video with it facing the windshield. And it doesn't really matter, but when you post the video, then the first image on my Facebook timeline is a still shot. Good morning, Rob. The first image is the picture of my windshield. I don't know why I do that every morning. I forget to check to make sure that it's set on public. Wes, good morning. I need to go through like my pre-video checks to make sure it's set to public. It's not facing my windshield, and I'm not trying to connect to Wi-Fi. Wanted to give you guys a quick sales tip today. It's one of the things we're teaching in the weekly real estate agent sales training I'm doing with John Martinez, and we covered this a little bit last week, and I think this little tidbit will be super helpful for people. You've heard before that our value or the price of the service that we're able to charge that people will pay is in direct proportion to the problem that we solve. And that rings true. That's 100% accurate. The challenge is it's difficult with that information as a salesperson to take action. How do we know the size of the problem that our client has? How do they know, or how do we know they have a problem? Everybody doesn't make a decision specifically in real estate to buy or sell because they have pain or they have a problem. Some people are doing so because they're at a critical or exciting time in their life, and maybe they're making a move to a different area, or maybe they're upgrading house to something larger. Maybe they're going to spoil themselves and buy a vacation home. So the challenge with that, old school kind of sales training is that it doesn't directly apply. It's not something that you can directly take action with. So what I want to share with you today is how and why clients will make a decision to take action with you. It's always because they are able to attach a value between where they are currently and how that makes them feel. So, quite frankly, how do you engage in conversation with someone like that? It's good just open and honest communication with your customers, which is what we teach as part of our sales process. So it may look something like saying, hey, this house that you have now seems like a very nice house. You guys have been here for a couple years. What's made you think about moving? They're going to tell you, what it is about that particular house that's no longer a good fit for them. And then the next question is super important. Go, well, how does that have an impact on you? How does that feel? What's that like? I mean, is it that big of a deal? And they're going to say, we're unable to do things. Our two kids have to share a room, which is, not ideal. They're different ages. They're going to share all that information with you. And then the next questions or part of the conversation you need to have with somebody is, what's your picture perfect situation look like? If you were able to sell this home that's a little bit too small for you, and you were able to get the kids some separate space for themselves so they could, relax and be themselves, what would that look like? They're going to say, well, I'd love to have a 4-bedroom house if we had 2 baths, blah, blah, blah. And then the next question or conversation you would have with them would sound something like, that's really awesome. It sounds like you guys have put a good bit of thought into this. If you were able to get that 4-bedroom house to allow you to get some more space, how would that impact you? What would that be like? And they're going to say, man, it would be really awesome. The kids are constantly at each other's throats. I'm always, breaking up fights between my 2 teenagers. So now what you've done, and I apologize if I'm not getting super deep into this, but I wanted you to just grasp the concept would be, you're creating a bridge between where they are and how that makes them feel, and then where they would love to be and how that makes them feel. And the distance in between those two, if you're able to bridge that, if you're able to provide the service that gets them from where they are now to where they would like to be, or what we consider the picture perfect, that is you clearly understand, which is one of the bigger issues with a lot of salespeople, is they jam people into a sales process that has nothing to do with their individual clients' wants or needs. And you may start showing them inventory that doesn't fit what they're looking for. It doesn't bridge the gap. So now when you're able to get someone from where they are now, help them tap into how that makes them feel, whether it's a source of frustration, whether it's causing challenges in their relationships with their spouse, or it's too long of a drive to work, or whatever the case might be. There's some type of emotions that come along with where they are now, and then the perceived or real feelings that they'll have if they're able to get to the other side. And when you're able to illustrate that to your clients, that's when you're going to get them to take action. That's when they're going to, in most cases, money becomes secondary. In that case, they're not necessarily, budget shopping or looking for the best deal. They're now going to make a decision to work with you and buy that house or buy that product because it gets them from point A and how they're feeling. Whether it's just, underwhelming, or maybe they're upset or sad about not being in the other position that they want to be in or having the ability to buy that house. And then that bridge is what is able to give you the ability to ask them to take action. Hey, we talked about the size of the house that you're in now. It's a little bit too small. You even shared with me that at times it causes a little bit of frustration or some tension throughout the house. And, it looks like we found this other property for you that has all those bedrooms. It's big enough for you guys to have your own kind of quiet space for each other. And I think we had talked about that would be an extraordinary step for you guys. Is that true? And the client's going to give you the truth. They're going to talk with you. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we were able to get this house, it would be such a relief. I'm closer to work. My wife and I would have a little bit more space to ourselves so that we want to wind down. I have the basement to go to. She's got the outdoor space that she really likes, and then the kids would have, their own separate bedrooms. This would really, really, really improve our life. At that point, if they're able to afford it, the person's going to make a decision. So what you want to do is get a good understanding of where your client is now and how that makes them feel. And then what we call the picture perfect scenario. If you were able to get to this place, what would that mean to you? How would it change your daily life? What would that feel like? And then what you want to do is the bridge that you build in between is the value or the cost of what you're able to charge for your services, whether it's a difference in payment, a down payment, or just the ability for that person to take action. They're willing to cross that bridge because they know what's on the other side, and they're willing to pay a price for it. So start doing that. You'll sell more homes, you'll sell more cars, you'll sell more stuff. And your client will appreciate you because you're having good, open, and honest communication with them, and you understand what their wants and needs are. Everybody have a good day.